All right, guys, so to get things started today, we have 5 movements we're gonna go through. These are all just kind of mobility movements we're gonna do to get things nice and warmed up. You're gonna do 1 minute on each of them, so it's just a 5-minute running clock. The first I'm gonna do is alternating toe touches. We then move into alternating reverse scorpions, alternating glute bridges, so it's a single leg glute bridge, over under shoulder stretch, which we'll take a look at in a moment, and the last one there is wrist circles. So we're kind of going through this sort of joint by joint as we go. That alternating toe touch, we're gonna set up narrow with the stance. I'm gonna go right hand to left foot, and then vice versa. And I'm kind of just bobbling up and down. So I get a little bit of like rotation, a little bit of shoulders. The big one though is my hamstrings and my low back. That's gonna get nice and loosened up. From there, we have the alternating reverse scorpion. So it being a reverse scorpion, we're gonna be actually laying on our back. From here, arms are out in a big T shape. Leg goes straight up to the roof, over the top. And the goal here is to try to get your foot to touch the opposite hand. That is relative to your own mobility level. You might find that you're a little bit lower down. That's okay, just get as close as you can. So back and forth on them for the next minute. From there, we have the alternating glute bridge. So with this one, we set up on our back. Feet are fairly close. I like to go toes up to really emphasize the heels down. And then from there, driving up into that glute bridge. So at the top, what we really want to see is a nice straight line from your knee through your hips to your shoulder. So we've bridged up to a nice high level there. Now from there, we're going to switch up to the upper body, so that over-under stretch. Start with the arms out, one over the top, one underneath. Trying to get your hands as close as you can. Okay, just going back and forth. You'll probably find, especially if you haven't done this one before, that you might have a bit of a gap between your fingertips. That's okay, just get them as close as you can. That gap will close up over time. It's just gonna be really nice for the health of your shoulders. Last one there we have is wrist circles, so just interlocking the fingers and just drawing like a figure 8 kind of a pattern. You can change directions every now and then, getting those wrists nice and loosened up. So a minute on each of those, and that is your warm-up. Alrighty, so for today's move workout, guys, we have a 10-minute window we're gonna operate in. Every 2 minutes, we're gonna go through the following. So the first one we have is 10 squat cleans. You can do that with whatever weighted object you have at home, but going through that pull into that full squat motion to a stand up for 10 reps. We then go into max Russian twist. So with a 2-minute window, we're hoping that the squat clean is going to be kind of in the neighborhood of maybe sort of anywhere between sort of 30 to 60 seconds, depending on how quick you cycle and obviously how much weight you're working with, but it should be in that kind of range. If it does take longer than a minute, that's okay, but the main thing is we want to be able to get a bunch of those Russian twists out in that remaining time, plus probably get a little bit of rest as well. I always like to think of taking maybe 15 seconds at most rest at the end of the round, just so you can enter the next round feeling good and ready to go. So let's have a look at that squat clean. I'm gonna do this one double dumbbell, okay, but you can do it with whatever you got at home. I'm gonna start from the ground, so just the front end's touching, nice and postured up, head looking forward, up, dropping into that squat clean. Okay, so nice straight back, you get that kind of deadlift sort of portion at the bottom, aggressive shrug at the top, and then dropping into that full front squat, always finishing with a nice tall stand up, so 10 of those. Again, we're hoping that takes around that kind of 60-second marker. Once I'm done with that, I move to the Russian twist. So I can just do this if the weight is suitable, use the dumbbell I was using for the cleans, or I can use something else if I need to go a bit lighter. So V-sit. I'm just doing as many of these as I can in remaining time of that 2-minute block. Each touch is going to be considered a rep, okay? A couple of things I can do if that feels too difficult to string any amount of reps together is I can put my feet down. I still want to maintain that lean back, but heels down. I can also just do it just with my hands, so no weight. So really just looking for that kind of lean back V-sit position and that rotation, okay? And then just doing as many as we can in that 2-minute block. So 10 minutes on that one, and that is your move workout.